Good morning, students. In the previous class, we completed Geography Chapter 3, Drainage. In today's class, we will start with Political Science Chapter 1, What is Democracy? Why Democracy? The topics that we cover in today's class are what is democracy? What is the difference between a democratic and a non-democratic form of government? What are the features of democracy? The major decisions taken by elected leaders, free and fair electoral competition, one person, one vote, one value. These are the topics we will cover in today's class. Now you all can open your political science textbook, chapter 1, what is democracy, why democracy. We will start learning from the first subheading, that is what is democracy and what is the difference between a democratic and a non-democratic form of government. Now we will start with the first subtopic of this chapter, that is democracy and the difference between a non-democratic form of government. After 2000, many countries across the world had witnessed democratic form of government. According to Abraham Lincoln, a democratic form of government means it is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Whereas in a non-democratic form of government, people cannot choose their rulers, or else people cannot change their rulers. They are either military dictators or hereditary rulers. There are certain countries' examples which is mentioned in your textbook as an example for a non-democratic form of government. Saudi Arabia is an example for absolute monarchy. Even now also in Saudi Arabia, monarchy form of ruling is going on in Saudi Arabia. The another is Nepal. Currently Nepal is non-democratic. Before Nepal also an example for the rule of kings. Kings ruled in Nepal. And another example is Myanmar. Myanmar till 2011 military rule existed in Myanmar, and Pinochet's rule in Chile, and Kwame Nkrumah's rule in Ghana. All these are the examples of a non-democratic form of government. If you analyze all these countries, Ghana or Myanmar before 2011, the speciality in these non-democratic form of government is the citizens does not have the right to elect the government, or else people don't have any basic rights. There is absence of freedom and right to protest, criticize and oppose the government. So it means absolutely there is no people, they don't have any voice related to the forming of the government, or else any sorts of rights. People, they don't have the basic rights in a non-democratic form of government. These are the next topic is the features of democracy. In a democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. And another feature of a democratic form of government is, in a democracy, each adult citizen have one vote and each vote have one value. Here it is explaining about the universal adult franchise. Every adult citizen above 18 years of age have the right to vote in a democratic form of government. The next point is, a democracy must be based on free and fair elections where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. A democratic government rules within the limits set by the constitutional law and citizens' rights. So these are the essential features of democracy. The next topic is major decisions by elected leaders. Here it is explaining about General Pervez Musharraf's rule in Pakistan. General Pervez Musharraf, he came into power in the year 1999. He overthrew the existing government and declared himself as the chief executive of the country. Once he won or else once he declared as the chief executive, he changed his designation to president. And in the year 2002, he held a referendum in the country that granted him a 5-year extension. So here you come across a new term known as referendum. What do you mean by referendum? Referendum means a direct vote in which the entire electorate is asked to either accept or reject a particular proposal. That is known as referendum. So in the year 2002, through a referendum, he held a referendum in the country, and that referendum granted him a 5-year extension. And once he became the president of Pakistan, he curbed the media and the newspaper. So now let's analyze what is the reason why he curbed the media as well as the newspaper. Because he don't want to highlight his malpractices or fraud in front of the public. So in order to avoid highlighting his malpractices and fraud in front of the public, so he curbed the media as well as the newspaper. Further, to strengthen his power, in 2002, a legal framework order was passed, and that amended the constitution of Pakistan. According to this amendment, the president can dismiss the national and provincial assemblies, and that became an important clause. The work was done by the civilian cabinet, but the ultimate power was in the hands of Musharraf. All those who were working with the cabinet acted like a puppet in the hands of Musharraf. That means what kind of democracy is witnessed here? This was a democracy that pretends to be a democratic government. But in reality, it is not a democratic form of government, because the civilian cabinet who was working under Musharraf, they don't have adequate power, and having adequate power and political equality, these are the key factors of democracy. Another important factor of the democratic form of government is free and fair electoral competition. So this heading, free and fair electoral competition, we can learn with the help of two countries, that is China and the other is Mexico. So let's analyze what is the political system in China as well as in Mexico. So in China, elections are held regularly in every 5 years. In every 5 years, a parliament is elected, and this parliament is known as National People's Congress. It has nearly 3,000 members, and it has the power to appoint the president of the country. Before contesting elections in China, a candidate needs to take the approval of the Chinese Communist Party, or else the smaller 8 parties allied to it were allowed to contest in the elections. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. It means in China, the people, they don't have the choice during election. Then the next is about the example of Mexico. Every 6 years, Mexico holds election, or else in every 6 years, Mexico will conduct election to elect the president. Before 1930, a military rule was witnessed in Mexico. After 1930, after 1930, there was no military rule was witnessed in Mexico. So from 1930 till 2000, every election was won by PRI. It means Institutional Revolutionary Party. So the Institutional Revolutionary Party, that is the PRI, won every election, and the opposition parties did not have any chance to win election in Mexico. The PRI party is known for all the malpractices and rigging, and people were given money for campaigning, and through illegal votes the PRI party came into power. Teachers were forced the parents to cast vote for the PRI party. Apart from teachers, even the government officials also were forced to influence the voters. There was no independent media. Sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, which made it difficult for people to cast their votes. The PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaigning process. People seemed to really have a choice. Here in Mexico, we can see the people, it seems that they have a choice, but in reality, there is no choice, and they cannot do anything to change the ruling party. So this type of election, we cannot call this type of election as a free and fair election. So now we learned two examples. That is, one is the example of China, as the second is the election or the example from Mexico. China, what we learned is single party. Only the Communist Party will rule the will form the government, or else only they will rule the country. Here in Mexico, what we learned is the people seemed to have a choice, but in practice they don't have choice, because it is in Mexico, what we seen is it is a kind of forced election happened in Mexico. So these two cases, or else in these two places, free and fair election is not happening. The next topic is one person, one vote, one value. We can learn this with the example of few countries. Until 2015, in Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote. The next is explaining about Estonia. Estonia is in the northern part of Finland. Estonia has made its citizenship rules in such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. So here it is explaining that in Estonia, the Russians were the minorities. As they were the minorities, the Russians in Estonia, they faced difficulty in the voting process. The next is explaining about Fiji. Fiji is an island country in the South Pacific Ocean. In Fiji, the vote of the indigenous Fijian is having more value than that of the Indian Fijian. That is the third point. So here it is explaining that the value of the indigenous Fijian and the Indian Fijian is different. So it means indigenous Fijians vote is having more value and Indian Fijians vote is having less value. So indigenous means the ethnic groups who were the original or earliest known inhabitants in a particular area, that is known as indigenous. So here it is explaining that the vote of the indigenous Fijians has more value than the Indian Fijian. So that means that the value is different for different people. In a democratic setup, we need to have one person, one vote and one value. So if you are giving one person one vote, but the value is different, then we cannot call it as a democratic form of government. So in a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Now let's have a quick recap of today's class. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. One chief factor which is common to all democracies is that government is chosen by the people. It also helps students to demarcate between democratic and non-democratic governments. Some countries like Pakistan do not follow this rule. In Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup in October 1999. He overthrew the democratically elected government and became the president of the country. Democracy is based on a fundamental principle of political equality. However, there are many instances of denial of the equal right to vote. So we can understand that in democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote, and in turn, each vote must have one value. Hope you all understood today's class. If you have any doubts, you can mail your doubts to dmcsonlinequeries@gmail.com.